Dear Thomas, I'm very happy that you are today here with us, and it's a great, great pleasure to have you here. Hello.
Thank you very much. Thank you for invitation. I'm very happy to be here.
So, to our Bulgarian community, I just would like to introduce yourself a little bit. You are the person who has created the biggest Shri Sai Baba Temple in Germany, and has also the publishing house for the books from Shri Kалешвар. And we will have now a conversation about Shri Sai Baba, about Shri Kалешвар, about also your path, your wisdom, your way. So this is a short introduction. Thomas, thank you very much that you are here and you are sharing your wisdom.
Yes, that's great. Thank you very much for the introduction. And I would like to start the talk today with the introduction mantra, the Guru mantra. And as I saw in your YouTube channel, you already describe a lot of Indian traditions and rituals. And one of the biggest ritual in India is the opening mantras, because in the Indian tradition, you believe that before you start with something important, you start with something which also express the energy of the divine. What can be a talk, a healing, or something like that, or fire ceremony. You start always with the opening prayers to invite the divine energy to this place, to your soul, to this event. And of course, the Guru mantra is one of my favorite, because the Guru mantra is not only that you connect to your own Guru, if you have one, but also you connect to the Guru Parampara. In the Indian tradition means the Guru of your Guru and the Guru of your Guru's Guru. And this goes the lineage till the pure divine. So that means every Guru have a Guru, and so you have a straight connection to Shiva, and from Shiva to the divine energy. And this is one part you connect with the energy outside, with the Guru lineage. And the other important thing for the Guru mantra is also to connect with your inner Guru, with your higher consciousness, with that part of your consciousness, of your soul, which is leading you, which helps you in this incarnation. And this is also very important. So for me, it's like an alignment, you connect inner side with your deepest point and also to the highest point outside with the Guru mantra. So now we would start with the Guru mantra. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Parabrahmam, Tasmai Sri Guruve Namah. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Parabrahmam, Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Parabrahmam, Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha. So today I would like to tell you a little bit about my journey, how I connect, how I met first time Shri Kалешвар, also Shri Baba, and how this journey comes to this point that we have here in Germany this kind of puja. We are here in a puja temple. That means we are doing fire ceremonies here. And also we have a wonderful Baba Murti here. And this all starts 20 years ago, or I would say longer before, that in my life I had, you can say, roller coaster journey in the beginning of my 20, yeah, you can say around 18, 19, 20 years like that. And from that point, I came very early to the situation that I had a lot of question about life and myself and why I'm here and what is the meaning. And I saw a lot of people around me very suffering, and I also had a lot of problems that time, to be alone, to be in silence. So I was not clear how to heal a heartbreak, how to heal depression. And I could see that nobody had a real idea about that. So I started researching what is the content of the old traditions, of old, you can say, philosophies or other wisdom. And I started researching first in the direction to Egypt, then South America. And always it comes like in like a signal that I have to focus to India. But during that time, when I read a lot of books about all this different knowledge, inside I was a little bit like, oh no, India is not my style. It's not because it was always too loud, too colorful, with the mantras, this chanting. It was nothing which really you can say pull me. But then step by step, a lot of books knock on my door, and I start reading about some Indian great saints, Sri Aurobindo, Ramana Maharaji, and also Shirdi Baba. And this started to create some, some connection that I really want to experience more of that Indian traditions. And then in 2003, one friend came to me and said some Indian saint is coming to Germany to give a weekend seminar. So of course I booked a seminar, and it was for the weekend. So we was there, and the saint was Shri Kалешвар. And he spoke a lot about heartbroken energy, and that in our Europe, in Europe it's very easy. Yeah, yes, exactly. In our region, it's really easy to heal everything on the body. You know, we can repair it in the hospital. But he said you don't have doctors for the souls or for the heart. You know, if somebody is really heartbroken, you cannot help. And he gave a very strong fire ceremony, and he said that for 1 day or 2 days he will relieve from all participants the suffering on the heart level. And then he started this fire puja, and from minute to minute you could feel how all the burden, how all the weight on your shoulders, everything was lifted. And it was for me unbelievable in which short time he could change for the people who was in the seminar the whole system. You know, it was like you washed out everything for a moment. He said, I cannot change it for a longer time because it's karma, but I can give you the experience how it feels without all that. That you have a bigger desire or interest, motivation to start with the mantra process he wanted to teach in this group. And I was really impressed. And of course, I started next morning the mantra process he gave us. And I think only 3 months later, I traveled to India to see his ashram, to see how he teach Western people there, Western students. And we traveled with a group of 8 people. We was connected very strong, and we came there, and it was for us very impressive that in the ashram was not only a temple from Shirdi Baba, also Shri Kалешвар created a temple from Jesus, with Jesus statue. And he told us later that he also have a very strong connection to Jesus, and he also was with him in one incarnation. So there's a lot of other stories about that. So for us, it was really great to see that Shri Kалешвар in his ashram create a bridge between Christian religion, Indian religion. There was that kind of connection, which was for us impressive. So we start with the mantra process. We was very happy to see also in the ashram how Sri Kaleshwar as a person acts who have some special abilities, you can say. I would always describe this situation, I would describe a person who have some guru qualities or who have some qualities like an avatar. I would describe that he is beyond the 5 elements. So that means he can work with the elements. He can command the elements. And this is something which only very few people on this planet can do. And that means if you enjoy time with that kind of persons, you can see how they act, how they can work with the elements. So for example, they can manifest something, they can change elements in other elements. And also they can command the weather, for example. There is a famous story from Shri Baba. There was a very strong storm in the village for 2 days, a lot of damage, and the villagers came to Shri Baba and said, please help us, a lot of houses damaged. And Shri Baba only went out from his Takamai, and he screamed in a very powerful way to the storm and said, stop. And after 1 minute, it stopped immediately. And that kind of not small, but that kind of miracles we saw very often when we had time in the ashram. And also Sri Kaleshwar wants to show us the miracles which Jesus did. He also wants that we can witness how he is doing that, how he is performing that kind of techniques, how he described it. Because there is a very old palm leaf book, which he showed us. It's 5,000 years old. And in this book is the 18 Saptarishi channels. That's the name of that techniques. And he said this is the techniques which many saints learned for many, many years. And then they could perform miracles as we know from different books, as Jesus did with healing somebody, bringing back somebody from the death. So this all kinds of abilities who comes from these techniques. But of course, Sri Kaleshwar said that Jesus had to sit in a cave for very many years, for a long time, to study and to practice. And of course, saints like Jesus, Sri Kaleshwar or Shri Baba, they came already in this incarnation with a very good, you can say, preparation, with a very good condition. And this makes it maybe a little bit easier. Then, of course, if we would try to reach that same level, for example, Sri Kaleshwar, he was sitting in his cave 14 years, you know, and meditating and learning these techniques. So if we would sit 70 years, maybe we can reach that level. Maybe we need 200 years. But this is not the point. The point what I understood with Sri Kaleshwar was that if we, as his students or students of Shri Baba, can reach 1% of that abilities who is available through that techniques, through that mantras, processes, then this 1% is enough to heal the planet. Because if many people have 1%, this is a big community who can serve the humanity, who can help people around them, and they can change also the belief system. They can change the understanding how the creation works, how different soul mechanism works. This is very important because in our what we have here in Europe, the knowledge, the wisdom, there is nothing available about how different soul mechanisms are working and how we can act with that. So here's, for example, here's one example. What is available through the 5-element process, for example, that you can decharge different kind of negative energies through the elements. And a very good example is that all of you know how the elements can help you to release negative energy. So first example is the ocean. You know, you have a long journey to the ocean. You're very stressed, you're tired. But if you arrive to the ocean and you swim 5 minutes, if you come out, you are totally relaxed. So all the negativity, all the pressure, maybe you had anger before or something, it's washed out. Everybody knows that this experience is always available if you go to the ocean. And same is if you sit on a fireplace, you know, with friends around the fire. Also, after 1 hour, the fire can pull everything out of you and you feel very light, you feel very good after that experience. And same if you walk on the earth barefoot without shoes. Also, you can see how after a different time of walking, you can see the difference, you can feel better. So, but if you are in your work and people around in your office are negative to themselves, to customer, to you, whatever, you can feel how the negative energy comes to you. Some kind of anger, some kind of maybe jealousy, something stay in your system. If you leave the office and go home, you can feel that this energy is still with you. And there is not really an easy way to wash this out, because if you wash your clothes, your clothes are clean. But how to wash your inner systems? This is very this is the point. And with the 5 elements, you don't need to travel to the ocean to wash out what you got in the office. You can use the shower with the element mantra, and then you can increase the power of that small amount of water which is in the shower. You can increase the energy level from that amount of water in a bigger amount, which is able to wash your negativity out. And this is the point, for example, on the 5 element process. So
Thomas, may I have tell something about the process?
Yeah.
I just wanted to mention that Shri Baba said during his life that the whole miracles he is doing, he can manifest, he can teleport himself, and all these miracles he does through the work with the 5 elements.
Correct.
So this is the information he said, so that the 5 elements are really the most essential part of the commanding of the reality, manipulating in a positive sense of the word, the reality, working, shifting, transforming the reality. So the 5 elements. And something very similar is said, but by the shamans of all tradition. They work also with the 5 elements, and also by the Buddhist tradition, for example, in Tibet.
Yeah.
And the very big, for me, importance is that at the time of Sai Baba, he give this knowledge to a very few kind of people, to a very small amount. But through Shri Kалешвар came the knowledge of the 5 elements, of the mantras, of the processes, how to learn to command the elements. And this is like the next level, like the initiation of a much bigger quantity of people who would like to work with the elements. So just wanted to mention that what you are now describing, the work with the water, the work with the fire, is doesn't seem that powerful, but it is actually the essence of the whole matrix of the reality where we are living. And if you learn how to manipulate these energies, how to work with them, how to command them, then you can really program the reality.
Yes.
And now I give you the word again.
It's like a kind of base, you know. It's the base level, the 5 elements. And of course, the first level is you can use the elements for yourself, that you can clean your system. You can also increase and decrease elements in your system. This is a very important part of the Ayurveda. The Ayurveda says you need to balance your elements, but they try through food. They say, okay, if your fire element is too high, your earth element is too low, you have to use that kind of food, you have to use that kind of yoga techniques, you know. This is all changing your element system through outside techniques. So the mantra processes is an inner process. So that means, for example, when I'm traveling many, many hours, my air element is very high. Of course, if I not take care of that, I would have some problems in the next days, maybe some kind of sickness, maybe some stomach problems from too much air. That kind of problems comes from unbalanced element system. And with the mantras, you can balance, you can work on your inner system. So this was the first level. And then the next level for people who are in deeper spirituality is the healing, that you can help other people through the elements. For example, you can see easily what kind of element is unbalanced, what kind of elements is responsible for some hard, difficult sickness. And the next level then for that kind of understanding is that you work with the elements, you command the elements, as you say. And then all the miracles starts from that level. And I have a wonderful experience I want to share with Swami when he wanted to try to explain what is commanding nature, because he said we all need a very, very strong willpower. You can reach nothing if you don't have a willpower. You can have big desire, you can have big ideas or visions, but without willpower, it's like an arrow. You know, if you don't have power to use the tool, the arrow will not fly far. So the willpower is like that kind of power you have for your arrow. And he gave us an example. We went to the river and there was sand on the river. So he held the sand in his hand, and then he meditated for a very short amount of time. And then when he opened the hand, the sand was changed to granite, to very, very hard stone. You know, you could not destroy. You could try to destroy, but it was impossible. Granite is very strong. And we were all surprised. We said, is this a miracle, what you did? And he said, no, it's willpower. The atomic system is like, they have difference between the atoms. And with my willpower, I can bring the atoms stronger together. And this is exactly the process, what the big mountain is doing with different kind of earth elements. For example, if you have coal, after millions of years of pressure, it comes to a diamond.
Yeah, diamond.
Exactly. And this is something the atomic system is changing. And he said he can do this with his willpower, because also the atoms have consciousness. So he can use his willpower to command how the atoms stays in our creation. And this is the same level how he can manifest or he can teleport something from here to there. It's all on the level of elements. And
so, dear Thomas, I would like to interrupt you for a second and bring you back to your time when you arrived at the ashram in India.
Yeah, the biggest.
So you arrived there. You met Shri Kалешвар, and how the magic start working in your life. What happened then?
Yeah, as I say, the biggest thing was for me to see how a saint is doing regular miracles on the day, giving healings, changing something in a system. You know, this was the biggest impression on me, that this kind of person who looks really normal, acting in his life. It's different than Shirdi Baba. You know, Shirdi Baba lived completely different. He lived, he was in his Dwarkamai the whole day. So of course, people could see from far away that he is some special person. But for me was the biggest next thing you can say in the ashram, that I was very happy to find a guru, you know, because I read a lot of books, and all these people in the books, they was already dead. You know, I never had a chance to have somebody alive who can teach me, who can also give me reflections on my spiritual path. So I was very, very happy that I found a living saint who can teach me, who can also give me guidance. And the first thing what Shri Kалешвар said to me is, next time you come to India, you must go to Shirdi, to your guru. So as a German, I was very surprised. I was really confused why I have to go to another ashram, to another place, to meet another guru who is already dead, if I have already found the connection to my guru. So, but he was really straight. He said, no, next time you have to go. And I visit at the next trip to India, I visit Shirdi, the village where Shirdi Baba
lived and worked.
Yeah, for a long time. And it was a very special journey because a lot of things happen in a very crazy and bad way on the journey to his place. And I heard later this is some kind of, you can say, cleaning process, you know, like some kind of pilgrimage journey. And when I was, so my money was gone. I came very tired to this place. I had no idea where to go. I was complete, out of my mind, you can say, from this journey. And inside I begged like, okay, Shirdi Baba, please show me. If you want that I come here, please give me some idea. And then a guy came straight to me, shake hands. I'm here to manage your days. And the next days, he was always with me. He gave me wonderful visits to different samadhis from Baba's students. We also visit every day the Shirdi Mandir, Shirdi Dwarkamai. So for me, the next 5 days, it was like heaven, you know, it was like pure bliss, pure happiness. So for example, in the midnight time, I was completely alone in Dwarkamai. I could meditate near to the stone where Shirdi Baba sits. So it was a miracle.
Just to mention, people who weren't have been in Shirdi, maybe when they heard to be alone near to the stone of Sai Baba is something special. Yeah, it is very special, because if you went there nowadays, you will see that every single day 10,000s of people are coming there to visit the place, to visit the Dwarkamai, the mosque of Baba, to see his place, and then to have some time alone in this environment, in this sacred place. It is some very, very special gift.
True. For example, today you have these lines in the Dwarkamai, so the people walking, so you have no chance to say, let me stay for a minute here, I want to meditate. It's impossible. You have these different lines, and there is also guards who push you if you're not fast enough. So it was complete other time 20 years ago. And for me, I understood that this was a miracle, because there was this guy for these 5 days who guided me, and we also went to a shop for clothes that I had some Indian dress, because it was very hot there. And when I came next time, I tried to find that person. I went to this flat where I was thinking that he lived. I went to the store and I asked a lot of people, and they all said, no, you was alone. There was nobody. So nobody could witness the person next to me who gave me 5 days this kind of tour, this kind of guidance. You know, it was, of course, pure Baba's Leelas, miracles, which gave me the wonderful welcome. And I could feel when I was in Shirdi that my connection to him is like a grandfather connection, you know, some kind of that kind of energy that he's really taking care, he's really looking for you. And it was a wonderful experience. But still the next years, it took me a while to solve that confusion with Shirdi Baba, Shri Kалешвар, also the connection with Jesus, because also Shri Kалешвар worked many times with us, with the Jesus energy. It took a while, but I think it's important that we understand that all these kind of saints working on different levels, different, Sri Kaleshwar called it channels. He said, for example, Buddha was the channel of peace, of silence. And Baba is the channel of straight, of power. Jesus, of course, is the channel of love. And so every guru have some quality, have some special focus. And if you work in that way also with different characters, you can also increase that quality in you stronger if you have that kind of connections to different characters. This is one experience I made, but on the other hand, he always said, stay focused on your on the level how you say how you open your heart, how you devotion, you can say devotion.
Yeah, how you connect with the spiritual world.
Surrender. This is the
surrender.
word.
Yes, to surrender.
Because it's really important that you find that kind of divine soul you can surrender completely. Because for us in Europe, it's very difficult to surrender because we had a lot of old karma with different mistakes in religions or other, you can say, mistakes between humans and groups and communities, whatever. So it's not so easy to open your heart as a European person. And but it's very important that if you start step by step to surrender and open yourself more and more to one leader, or you can say spiritual guru, it's important that you choose what is your strongest connection. So for some people, it's Jesus. For another person, they see first time a Divine Mother temple, and then they say, this is my channel, this is my way. And also Swami said many times, if you have a strong connection to any kind of divine soul, then stay. This is your door, this is your open door, you know, this is your spot. And then try to make it deeper, make it more open. And yeah, this is important that on your journey, you find out what is the person you can most surrender, you can most be open, because the guru can only help you if you put everything what is inside you on his feet. You must show him everything. You cannot hide something, because everything you hide, the guru cannot support you. And if you can express all your blocks, all your negative experience, negative suffering, then it's easier to wash it out. For example, in one program we had the task that we write down all our blocks, all our negative things which not allow ourselves to express to how is the word?
Say it in German, I can translate maybe.
Ja, dass du komplett aufblühst, dass du sozusagen dich vollständig entwickelst.
So to develop fully your potential.
Yeah, this is good. The development of your full potential. So that kind of result is often not reached because you have this kind of blocks. And it's very important to take your time and find out what is your what you have to on what you have to work, that you can open your heart more or connect more. And yeah, this is something which was very important for me to learn, because in the beginning of my spiritual path, I was like a servant. I tried to serve in a very good way, but very often when we had this kind of meditations and different experience, I could feel that on one level I learned a lot of knowledge, but I could see after a few years that my progress on the inner level, on the heart level, was very low, because for me it was very difficult in the beginning to really understand how you can release your pain, you can release your suffering from your life, from the childhood, whatever your traumatas, you can say. And yeah, I tried to make that small, like, okay, I do a lot of things, I do a lot of great work, so this is not so important. But every year, more and more, I could realize this is very important, you know, because if your heart is very open, then also the connection to divine is much stronger, and you can receive a lot of more blessings, a lot of more support.
Yeah, Thomas, wow, thank you. Thank you very much for this great introduction into your path. I have now some very concrete questions. Maybe you can tell us more about them. So first, I wanted to ask you, so you went to Penukonda, to the ashram of Shri Kaleshwar. Then you went to Shirdi. You were there on the Shirdi's Bamakai. And your part started. And now on some point in your work, you became the person who has a publishing house and start publishing the work of Shri Kaleshwar. Can you tell us about more? I have something very concrete that I would like to ask you now. Can you tell us more about which kind of books are published now, what we can expect to find in these books, what kind of knowledge Shri Kaleshwar has put into words so that we can study? I personally think that many people cannot imagine how much techniques, how much information Shri Kaleshwar has collected and has given out. And I would like just to ask you, can you make some kind of overview about the literature you have, that you're producing, that Shri Kaleshwar have given to the world?
Yes, yes. First, I want to make a bridge from your story, what you mentioned before, that Shirdi Baba, during his life, he gave only a very few people some understanding of mantra processes or something. And a lot of people ask why, because Baba was, you can say, the master of all these techniques, but he never taught in the way Shri Kaleshwar did, with like some kind of university that people coming from all different countries. Sometimes in the ashram was more than 500 people during the same time for studying all this knowledge. So why the gurus before not gave out the knowledge? This is a very important question. And this was answered from Shri Kaleshwar and Shirdi Baba, because the 5 element books was the first thing what Swami wants to give out as a book. And the interesting thing is that Shirdi Baba had to give the permission. And you must imagine there is some kind of, you can say, like a board who is responsible for the development on our planet. And there is also one leader personality who is in charge for the spiritual growing on our planet. And for 2000 years, it was Jesus who, from his crucifixion, he became the #1 who was responsible for the development. And then nearly around 2000, it was a shift. And Shirdi Baba came in this position and started the Sai Yuga, as many people call the beginning of the golden Yuga, the golden time. And with Baba in charge, he could receive and also give to Shri Kaleshwar the permission to bring that knowledge out, which is in the old palm leaf books. Because there is important that somebody is responsible for this knowledge, because of course, these powerful processes you can use in a very positive way, but you can also use it in a negative way. So now Shirdi Baba is taking care that all this knowledge is used in a very positive way. This is his responsibility, his job. So, and Shri Kaleshwar was very happy that this knowledge finally can be published, can be taught, because for many years all the gurus not had permission to bring it out. They could give it to 1 or 2 students that they can store or preserve the knowledge, but they could not share it to everybody. So this is now a very important time that the knowledge can come back to the planet. It can be spread to any kind of society levels. And Shri Kалешвар said in the future, maybe in 200, maybe in 500 years, what we now reading in these books will be taught in the school to kids. You know, this can be very normal, very soon. And when I came to the ashram, I felt that my dharma in India means your what you feel inside, what you have to do with your incarnation. And I could feel that I want to bring this knowledge out. I was so happy to see that this knowledge now is taught, is available. And my biggest wish was that this knowledge have to come to Europe, that people can read it, not only to travel to India to study it there, they can also receive it through books in Europe. And for 4 years, I was knocking on the door of Shri Kaleshwar's office every year and said, I want to publish, I want to translate, these books have to come out. And 4 years it took until Shri Kaleshwar gave the permission that we start the publishing house and print the books. And it was, of course, a very, very special moment. We started in our flat, we start selling from our kitchen, you know, there was no office in the beginning. It was really very, very small beginning, but it grows very fast. And after a few years, we needed our own printing machine to print so many transcripts and books. So it becomes very fast real business. And as you say, there is a lot of books published about the different processes. For example, 5-element process we spoke already. Then also there is some process about different chakras. You have a Kala chakra is responsible for the time. Then you have other chakras which you can study and use for your spiritual growing. For example, the Hridaya chakra, it means the heart chakra. You can work with all this kind of energy systems in yourself to for your spiritual growing, for your development. And of course, he published a very beautiful book about Shirdi Baba, because there's already books from students from Baba available in Shirdi or in different other bookstores in India. But Shri Kaleshwar described Baba as he could see him in his visions, in his when he traveled as soul, then he could see different kind of other aspects which are not in the biography. And this is very, very interesting to read. I hope soon it will be translated to Hungary. And the other book is, of course, the life and teaching of Jesus Christ, because he also wanted that a lot of new knowledge comes to the world. How was the crucifixion? How they bring Jesus' soul back in his body? These are all Indian ancient techniques. And he wanted to give out the understanding why Jesus did this, what was the mechanism, and what he did after his crucifixion. So this book is also very special. And of course, in the last years, we also translated wonderful books about the life of Shirdi Baba, so that you also can read in different language books from people who was with Baba during his life.
I just want to mention something very important. So me personally, I own around 4,000 books. Every single one of them is spiritual books. So my library is really huge. But I never before found an author, writer who, or spiritual leader or spiritual teacher who put that much quantity of very intense and dense information compact in with processes, with mantras, with very, very, very old powerful teachings. And I have to think every time when I think on Shri Kaleshwar, on this huge book in the format of a DIN A4, 108 healing ways,
healing techniques. Yeah.
Healing techniques. And if you open this book, you will find that huge quantity of mantras, how to connect other words, how for this, for that. So he gave us so many information. It's really incredible. If somebody is loving spiritual techniques like I do, it's really a huge source of techniques, of methods, of mantras that normally are very old and sacred and secret in India. So if you want to find these mantras in India, you have to ask some priest, and the priest will tell you, no, this is a secret knowledge. You have to be a student. You are a Westerner. You will not get it.
Yes.
And you can buy these books from your publishing house, and you will find there, in very intense, dense, compact way, hundreds. Maybe I think in this book there are more than 300 mantras for every single imaginable need you can think of.
Yeah, that as you say, if you go to a priest and you want a mantra, he will tell you first you have to be a Brahman. It's a caste in India who have that kind of background, that also the parents, everybody is a priest, and then you can be a priest for your child can be a priest if you live in that family. So, and then you have to study 12 years Sanskrit and other spiritual systems, Indian traditions, philosophy, before you start to get that kind of mantras or techniques. So I would describe why this happened is, of course, first you have this time shift that now the knowledge can go to the world, you can say. And also Swami knows many years ago that he have only a short time to bring it out, because we was witness when he showed us the first palm leaf book in the nature, in the ashram. There was a huge reaction on the nature. And he said, you must know, if you do something very strong, positive, always the nature tries to balance with some negative. This is normal. And when a saint like Shri Baba, Jesus or Shri Kалешвар have reached some level in his incarnation, then the whole nature, the whole energy of this planet is really, I would not say attacking, it's too hard, this word, but it's some kind of, it's pressure, it's, it's, when you saw the movie Matrix, I love this scene when he said, in the moment I understand that this is a program, the whole program wants me out of it. It's some kind of, you're not fitting in. And here's the same. As soon the saint have the quality of working on the 5 elements and he giving the knowledge out, immediately the process starts that your time is limited. And Swami knew that, and he said it many times. He have only a few years. Also, Jesus knew many years before his crucifixion that his time is limited. So what Shri Kалешвар did is he wanted to give all the knowledge out. He don't have time to explain all the different techniques. He could not give for all processes the full description and full understanding. I think that will be something for the next 20, maybe 100 years, that students becomes teacher, and this teacher from his experience, they try to explain what Swami gave out in a very beautiful and soft way that also beginners can easily understand. But of course, it was not possible for Shri Kалешвар to make that all available. So he gave all these processes out. And we are now in the perfect situation that we can work with these processes. We can make the first experience with that, and then we can teach it, and we can make that teaching more. We can bring our experience with this teaching, and then for the next generation, it will be more easier. It will be more accessible. This is what I believe.
I have a next question. Thank you very much for the explanation, Thomas. I have a next question. Can you describe us what kind of people were the students of Shri Kалешвар? Are they mostly from the West? Are they mostly from the India? what was the students? You know, can you tell us more about the students? And are there centers around the world who practicing the, centers like the center in Germany? Are there other ways? Tell us more about this, please.
Yes, the interesting thing is that Swami, he had a lot of students from our countries, from Japan, from US, from Europe. Also, he had a lot of hundreds of students from India, in India. But the very interesting question is that he tried to work with these students in groups and not mixing it. So that means we as Westerners, we never was in a group with Japanese or with Indian people, because Shri Kалешвар said that our mind setting and our cultural background is very often not fitting together in a very positive way. So he tried to teach the Japanese in a way that he can have best access to this culture, to this region, and he worked with the Western students in another way. And of course, with the Indian students, he had to work also in a complete other way. But during all these different programs he had in his ashram, many students came from around the world. And during his lifetime, many students already became the level like a teacher. They received teacher permissions from Shri Kалешвар, and they started to give the knowledge in seminars, in talks to his audience, to their audience in their countries. And of course, some of these teachers created some kind of center. Some centers are focused on teaching. Other groups created more like we have here, like a temple. The focus is not on the teaching. The focus is on the Indian rituals and traditions, that we have a place to come together to perform different kind of rituals together and have as I call it, a power spot. Because this is also something which is very important. And beside all this knowledge part, is that we have to create powerful places where the divine energy can easily available. Because for many people, spiritual journeys begins with strong experience. And strong experience you can make if you go to strong power places, power spots. So this is the whole mechanism why people traveling 500 kilometers to the pilgrims to a special church. And if they arrive there, then this place has some very powerful vibrations, earth vibration, and this gives you some experience. Your heart goes open, your mind is changed, or your belief system have the possibility to transform. And this happens if you visit power places. And the ashram, of course, is a very powerful place. If you visit, you will feel immediately on the first day that this place works on your soul level. Also, if you go to Shirdi or to other power places, this works. So we have some kind of, how students bring this mission to the world is first on the knowledge level, second on the healing level. There's a lot of people who are using the knowledge from these books you mentioned for healings, and they focus on how to help the people out of their suffering. Because there's a lot of people who don't want to know everything from the background. It's the same if you go to doctor and you say, I have very strong stomach problem. You want a solution. You want something which you can take, that you feel better, and the problem will be solved. And this is the healing level. This kind of people ask not to study the whole body system. They don't want to study 4 years on a university about all that doctor knowledge. They want to receive the solution. They want the healing. And this is also the second part on this mission. And the third part, of course, is to create places for the community and also for the divine energy, for a power spot, that people can have some own experience. This is very important.
Yeah, thank you very much. I just wanted to ask you about two things or three things specifically about these places. Can you tell us about something about the ashram in Penukonda? If somebody who is listening us would like to go to India or will travel to India or just want to go to a retreat into this Penukonda ashram, can he do it? What is the procedure if somebody wants to visit the Penukonda ashram? Can you tell us more about this?
Yeah, the ashram have full year visit times, so you can go to the website. There is a visiting the ashram application, and then you send your details, and then you get more information, what is important for your arrival, what is about the pickup from the airport. So the visiting the ashram procedure is very simple. Of course, you need communication first with the ashram. You cannot travel to the ashram and say, hey, hello, I'm here. But with a few details, you get a lot of support, how to travel. They help you, pick up you from the airport, bring you to the ashram, give you a room. There is plenty of rooms available for visitors. And in a way, we would expect as Europeans, like a third class hotel level. So you have a bed, you have toilet, you have kitchen, that kind of level is available. And then you can stay as long as you like and enjoy the place. And then, of course, 5 times in the year, you have special programs according to the Indian special dates, you can say. And this is Shivaratri, this is Guru Purnima, Navaratri, the festival of the Divine Mother. Of course, Christmas is a very special program. And during these programs, you have between 5 or 9 days special activities. And if you want to be there on that time, you must arrive before and you must stay the full time and you must also enroll in the course. So because this is some kind of group process, you cannot jump for one day and leave next day. This is impossible because during that 5 or 9 days, the whole ashram is energetically in a process, and also everybody can feel how this group energy helps all participants to make wonderful and great experience in your spiritual development. So this is something you have different options. Of course, I recommend always to first visit the ashram as a visitor, not jump as a first-time traveler to the programs, because it can be hard. When I came first time to India, I had a lot of stomach problems from different bacteria. Next time I had energy problems. I could not sleep for 1 week because the energy was so high that my system could not adjust. Sometimes you have body pain because energetically something is working on you. So I would recommend everybody who is not familiar with that kind of power places, I would call it, first visit the place and then see how the energy is working on you.
Yeah, thank you very much. In the description below the video, there will be a link to the website of the ashram, also a link to the publishing house of Shri Kaleshwar Publishing. And now another question. If somebody who is new to this information would like to start studying the materials of Shri Kaleshwar, what book will you recommend as first reading book?
The best introduction book is the introduction book. It's not called the introduction book. The book called in English The Teaching of Shri Kaleshwar. And it describes in a very deep way what is the meaning and the energetically level of the mantras, what is illusion, what means negativity, what means inner blocks. This book gives you a full overview about all the topics which are important on your spiritual development. So I would recommend that book, of course. And for the energy level, I recommend that in the ashram, when you see in the description the link to the ashram, you not only can book visiting the ashram or a program, you can also book or see the live streaming of powerful events like full and new moon fire puja. Also, every Tuesday is the Abhishek of Shirdi Baba. The murti will be washed early in the morning in a ritual with mantras from the priest. So that kind of live streaming events are very powerful to receive the energy from this powerful place and receive the blessing. And if you chant, for example, the Guru mantra during this live stream, you can also see how the energy works with the mantra in your system. You get very easily first powerful experience. And live streaming of the ashram is free on YouTube. And if you want that your name will be in a list and you get some special blessing, only then you have to book the event. But you can always enjoy the live streaming also on YouTube. It's very easily to access.
Oh, this is a great idea. Thank you very much, Thomas. I just wanted to mention to our listeners that this year we start a first step in translating some of the books from Shri Kалешвар into Bulgarian language. So we hope that in the next time, maybe in the next year, who knows, that the first books from Shri Kалешвар will be translated into Bulgarian, so that the Bulgarian community can also buy or read the books in their language. And on this place on our conversation, I just want to mention also that my deepest wish is someday that we have also a temple, a center in Bulgaria, a center with Murti of Sai Baba, with the program of Shri Kалешвар. So a center like the center you are sitting right now in Germany. And I hope somebody is listening who have maybe the right place, or Baba will help us anyway to find the right place. And just want to mention to the people who are interested in, I'm thinking on this, everybody who wants to participate, who wants to help us to build a temple, to build a center in Bulgaria, can call me, can contact me. And I hope that in some years this will be manifested.
Yes, I saw that also many months ago. I think weeks ago, I called you. I saw very strong that Baba is preparing to come to Bulgaria.
Yeah,
and he's on the way, I can say, energetically, you know. And it's when a few people have the feeling they can connect as a group, the place is easily to find, you know. It needs a little bit peaceful surrounding, a little bit nature, and then everything will be easily built. Because, for example, that kind of wooden construction you see here, we had a beautiful group in Belgium. They really had a strong energy to pull Baba to this place. And one person said, we have a big property next to our house. We can give it to the community for the Baba temple. And then we prepared the whole temple, the whole wooden construction we prepared here in Leipzig. And then we traveled with the trailer to this place. And in only 3 days, the whole temple was built. So I will send you the photos you have to show in the video later, because it's so beautiful how easily with all the community we built this place. And now I think the group grow in 2-3 years to more than 300 people who visit this place, who enjoy programs there. Because if you bring Baba's energy through a murti on this, you can say, ground from Europe, you know, immediately it's like some kind of antenna, it's some kind of receiver. Divine energy will always come to this place, and it will
eminent. It will make
yes.
a radiation of the energy.
And there is
just
so
to
many
say a second, Thomas, just to say, because not everybody is known the word Murti. Murti means the statue of Sai Baba behind you.
a
This
marble
is Murti.
statue. Because as bigger the Murti is, as more powerful it can receive the energy. Of course, if you have a small marble statue, it's nice. But my experience is when the Murti have life size, it makes a difference to our consciousness. If we stand in front of a life-size Murti statue, it will. There is another way to open us for this energy, for this divine character or saint. This is important. But also when we leave the temple, the energy is still flowing, the energy is still coming. And many people told me that if they have very strong mind problem, really confusing time with relationship or other worries, as soon as they enter the temple and they sit here for 10 minutes, it's all away. So they can have a few moments of clarity. They can have huge experience in meditation in this place. And this is very important, that you can say it's like a small island of divine energy. And the impact on the surrounding, it's amazing, because we had one person who wants to visit our publishing house, and she don't know that here is a life-size Murti in this temple. She only came to Leipzig by car to pick up some book, but she is a very sensitive person who also channeling, who is also working on astrology. So she's very long time experienced in all these energy systems. And she came to Leipzig and was, I would say, 30, 40 kilometers away from Leipzig. And then she described me that she was entering some kind of energy umbrella, which was really big and golden light. And she could feel that now she is in Baba's presence. And she asked me on the phone, what you have here in your city, because I can feel Baba. And I said, yeah, we only have this temple here. Maybe this is the energy. And then she came to the place and she confirmed that this temple here had that kind of impact on the whole city, on the whole area around the city. So this is something, I would say, huge support also for the community, also for the city, that you bring a lot of positive energy.
So I really am waiting to see this manifestation happens, and I'm sure it will happen. It is just a question of time, and Baba will came also to Bulgaria. And I just wanted to mention something that you didn't mention, and I just want to be mentioned. As long as I know, and I think I read it many times in the books of Shri Kалешвар, he said he don't want to have disciples, long life disciples. He came to teach teachers. He came to teach people who became teachers. So he came to teach teachers. He's the professor for the professors, for the
I would go
professors.
one step more far. I would say first he wants teacher and then he wants masters, because he always told us what Jesus said. He said he wanted that his follower became one day bigger than him. And this is something Swami always said. Important is that the Guru develops his students in a way that they become teacher and then they become masters, and then one day they are stronger than the Guru, because they receive all this energy and they're developing and surrounding, of course, changing. And he said during the time of Jesus, it was very difficult to connect. It was very difficult to stay in connection. So he said all the students, you cannot say followers from Jesus, who had the knowledge what Jesus gave, they all went in different ways, you know, to Spain, to Italy, to other countries, and they was alone. And this was a huge opportunity for the negative part on our world to make it not happen, to block.
Yeah, to go like infusion into the teachings and to do a manipulation also of the purity.
Yeah. Some people was manipulated by power and money, others by jealousy, other by fighting about power. You know, they all went in different kind of crazy directions. But at the end, we know the result. The knowledge is lost at that time. And Swami said the important thing, how we can bring the knowledge now to the world, is we stay together as a group. This is a very important part of his teaching, that we overcome our ego problems and learn as much as possible groupism, how he called it, the way how to interact with the group, the way how to find techniques or possibilities that the group develops in a balanced way, you know, not like one leader have all the follower and not allow any follower to come more near or to develop faster. And this is the most important thing, that we understand that on the soul level we all same. We all come from the same source. So
I have excuse me, Thomas. I just want to interrupt you here. I think this is something very important to make here differentiation, because many Indian masters or many Indian teachers, they have said, okay, when I die, I give the teaching like issue on my student here, so there is this lineage of teachings. And
yes.
As long as I understood, Shri Kaleshwar didn't want to have this like pyramidal structure. He wants to say, here are the techniques, here are the books, here you can do self-study, you have here come together as a group, work together, but here's all the knowledge. I will give you all the knowledge you want. Here you have it as a book, you have it as a process, and you can do a self-study. So you're not dependent on some teacher to stay there, to ask him to be as kind as to give you the mantra, just because Shri Kaleshwar give it all.
Very important here is what he tried to change in our belief system is you don't need to follow one person, because this always creates power struggling. It creates always dependencies. You know, it's not good. And as you say, most of the Indians have a view on a saint that he can do what he can do, but I'm never able to do this. They have a huge block in self-development. They not believe that they can develop also 50% on the way. And this is a very big problem, because then you are not able, you block your own spiritual growing. But on the other hand, the problem is you need somebody who guide you. And I have always the example or the picture, when you come to the jungle, and the jungle is very dangerous, you need a leader. You need, as Swami said exactly in these words, you need somebody who came already to the end of the jungle, came back to support you, to find the perfect way to come out. And this is the problem, that at the moment, some people have the feeling, I don't need anybody. I can read the book, I can do anything by myself, but then they have to face all the illusions, they have to face all the mistakes by themselves. The journey will be very long. And you can get this picture if you look on the jungle and you think you are able to find the perfect way by your own. It's impossible, almost impossible, you know. Of course, Buddha could do this, but many students cannot reach the end. So it's important to accept that somebody is guiding you, but this guy, this leader or this person who supports you, not is only one person. It not depends on one character. You know, you can learn on different levels from different persons, and also you can always surrender to your guru or to somebody who have the ability to support you in your way. But my deep understanding is that without any support, it's difficult. And I must add another thing. Maybe it's but it's important. In the spirituality, the important thing is that we bring out all our traumata, that we wash out all our fear, that we learn to open our heart. And our heart got a lot of pain. So it's very painful to reopen. And all these processes is not easy. It's not easy. No, not easy. It's not a soft way. You know, it's a little bit hard. And I made the experience that to make all this experience happen, you need somebody who also push you a little bit in the experience. And I heard very often spiritual people who say, I follow what feels best for me. If I feel it's easier to go right, I go right. Because this is my freedom in the spirituality. I can go where the energy shows me what is the best way. But this is the opposite of spirituality. Spirituality means there is some pain and you have to go in the pain. You have to recognize what is the pain and then you can wash it out. And then you become more free, you become more developed, you become more abilities. But all this way, our own system wants to avoid. Our own mind is programmed to avoid different situations who can heal our traumata. And this is another important point, that you need somebody. It can be your partner, it can be your best friend, or it can be your spiritual leader who helps you to push you through different processes, that you not give up, that you not go around, you go through.
Oh, thank you very much, Thomas. A very, very deep point that you have mentioned right now. And I think also is that everybody has a teachers and everybody is a teacher to another. That this is also the beautiful thing, that when you're in a group, when you're not a lonely wolf, you're a teacher and student at the same time. And for me, my teacher is Sai Baba and Shri Kалешвар. And once you have a teacher of this degree, then you are also in their lineage. So I make now connection to your first introductional words about the Guru Parampara, about the lineage of the gurus. Once you have somebody who is guiding you, you are also in this energy of guiding through the whole guru lines. And in my experience, if your guru or if your spiritual teacher, a guru, many people have a little bit problem with the word, but if your spiritual teacher does not know some information, he knows somebody who can give the information. So once you are into this lineage, any kind of needs or information or techniques or whatever you need for your path, you will receive. Mm. And I just want to mention something personal about myself. I study many different spiritual schools, and I will study till the end of my life in this incarnation, different schools and paths. But this structure and freedom that I receive from Shri Kалешвар and from the teaching of Sai Baba, I think is something very amazing, because if you study the life and the teachings of Shirdi Sai Baba, you understand he does not want to put borders to say like he was living in a mosque, in an Islamic mosque. Then he was practicing also like a Hindu traditional Hindu traditions. So he was uniting any traditions in a very specific way. And the same thing I see also like in Shri Kалешвар, who connects Christianity, also Buddhism, also Hinduism in a Vedic knowledge, very old Vedic knowledge, in a very unique way. And give you the freedom, hey, study the way, study the process you want to grow. Just have the freedom of choosing, not to be that fanatic like some schools I have in my mind right now. Some very very destructive Hindu schools. For example, the Krishna consciousness.
Yeah, my personally experience on that is that I think all the founder of all these religions had two things in common. First, they all not want to create illusion. They only want to share knowledge. Also Mohammed, Buddha, Sri Kалешвар, Shri Sai Baba, they all want to share what they experienced. And then later it becomes that kind of structure. And the other thing is that I think that all these techniques, what is written in the own public books, everybody can experience, everybody can use it. And this is what we experience also in our temple, that we have different kind of other cultures who interest in 5-element process, because the 5-element process not belongs to the Hinduism or to another religious system. It's a pure energy process. It's a pure mechanism how to work on the soul level. And I think that is something what Swami was very important, that he try as much as he could to protect the knowledge, that it not becomes another religious system or structure. And now we are, as a student or teachers, are in this position to take care that this, as you say, knowledge stays not binded to any other system. It has to be pure teaching of mechanisms of processes. This is very important, and I hope in the next 50 or 100 years it will be stay like that. This is important. But we know from the history. But we know from the history sometimes humans doing another way.
Yeah, and I think therefore it's very important to speak very openly about it. That it's very important to keep also the teachings pure, not to manipulate them, not try to interpret them in any way, so that at some point we have our own version of what Shri Kалешвар said. So just to keep the knowledge as it was given, so that everybody can study it in the way without further distractions or manipulations through the time, or just subconsciously or unconsciously through explanation who weren't given by himself.
Yes.
Thomas, I'm very, very thankful that you took your time and had this discussion with us. I think we can speak for hours, and I will be very happy if we continue this conversation, maybe in a second part, that we meet again and speak more about the teachings. And I will give you now the word for your how to put it, your ending words,
closing
words, and then maybe we can also close with some mantras.
Yes, there are also closing mantras, of course. So my closing is that I was very happy also to have the opportunity to speak to the Bulgarian community, because in the last 2 years you shared so many beautiful moments, how you was there, what your experience you made, and I feel in one way connected already. And maybe there is a time that we travel together and I can give, for example, some talk or something there. I feel that is something, but yeah, we will see. And I also would like to use the next talk, as you say, to describe a little bit different introduction processes. Maybe we go a little bit deeper in the understanding of negativity, illusions, what it means to work with these chakras. So that would be something I can prepare. And the next talk we can talk a little bit about this teachings, what Swami shared through the books and to the programs. And I wish everybody a wonderful time, and see you soon.
Yeah, thank you very much. I really again have to say thank you very much, and I'm speaking in the name of all our viewers, of the whole audience who is watching this video now, and the whole years after that, after our discussion. Time doesn't exist, and I'm sure that your words will bring a lot of illumination into the topic of Shri Kaleshwar, into the topic of the working with the 5 elements. And I'm very happy to see you in our next talk. And now I give you the words for the closing mantras.
Om Shanti 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 Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti